think to keep it as simple as possible, response to intervention is extra time and supports for students that need it, knowing that every student learns differently and at different rates. And I think sometimes it's stereotyped, using the word intervention, that it's only students that are struggling, but really it's far more than that. It's for all students, knowing that extensions of learning, extended learning opportunities, enrichment opportunities, as well as those extra supports and time that you may need during times that you're struggling, are all a part of response to intervention. And I think for a lot of people that just think of the word intervention, they think of students that are struggling. But our system and the intent of response to intervention is for all students, knowing that they have different learning needs and different learning styles.
Most schools have been in the position of having to, come up with ways of providing assistance to students that quote-unquote need it. I think a number of things were coming together at the point in time that we started to think about doing something like this. One of them was that special education figures were too high, and we were having to, the only system that we had for intervention historically was a special education system where students need to go through a very long and difficult process of being identified in order to get extra help outside of a regular classroom. What we were able to do here was to recognize, as Brian said, that students need to go through that very complicated process. If in fact we can provide ways within the schedule and within our philosophy of providing them with assistance before an issue becomes a significantly difficult issue to overcome for the student. So basically we were in a position of seeing ourselves all as helpers. Instead of the special ed people being the only people that were seen as helpers, all staff needed to see themselves as helpers. And that was the intervention that was necessary to at least identify what kinds of difficulties students were having, and hopefully not have to go through the special education process, which causes them and everybody else to look upon them as having a disability. And we wanted to try to avoid that.
Well, in terms of a child that you live with at your own home, it's comforting to know that they can get the help that they need without you having to make extra arrangements to drive and pick them up from school, or how they're going to get home. The common method before this model was just that. You had to get your kid there before school started, or pick them up after, or have another student drive them home. It's nice to know that there's a built-in safety net during the school day.
Well, the intervention process is really when, if you need more help, you can get it. But it also means that, especially with tasks, you can help other people. From a student's perspective, you can help others with what they need help with. And it means that they don't have to feel bad about getting a bad grade because they know that they can get the help they need from the teachers that are giving them the class originally.
The other thing that I really like about it is the fact that because everybody goes to task, not just a few people, it takes the stigma off the students who are looking for help. Because really what it means is that everybody needs help sometimes in some subject area. So it equalizes the need for help rather than making it a special time for one person who might then be looked at as not necessarily disabled, but having special needs that need to be met. So I think it really opens up the idea of we all need help sometimes, and therefore we can get it in a block that's common to all of us.